couple of videos. It was my call with Adult Protective Services here in Oregon. The man that I spoke with, his name is Cal. And, well, ooh, I just found a bullet. No joke. Literally just found a fired bullet with the rifling still on it. Cool. Alright. That's not what this story is about, though, is. So, Tazzy, that's Laura. There's, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 videos on here with her in them. She's a lady who's always in a hurry, always in a hurry, always in a hurry. She's supposed to be our homeless advocate, and she does a far better job than Karen does. Karen sucks at her job. Thank goodness for this Tazzy lady. Except, alright, so Cal wants me to try to turn this. Oh, wow, a ring. Cool. I keep finding all sorts of stuff. And it's copper underneath. Cool. Alright. Trinkets. Now, in order to follow Cal's advice, I gotta try to find this guy's name. She's supposed to be the liaison, but much like the situation in Colorado with having to go to druggies for help, especially when the people you're trying to turn in are either their customers or their contacts. The contact is your person higher up on the ladder, the person who gives you the drugs for distributing. Now, all these people could actually be doing something and working together. Now, for me, trying to do what Cal is asking, I'm going to someone who is paid money to do this job. Now, I agree that she is not paid nearly enough, but also she's not really doing the job. So she has been telling me about some of the things going on, like the fire over in the Dalles, the homeless camp. That's one of 4 of them in the last 30 days, just here in Oregon. This morning there was a whole bunch of hatred towards the homeless. I got this news feed thing that pops up when people are missing. And all morning it's been homeless, 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 homeless. It's not homeless missing people that they're popping up, though. No, it's crimes against the homeless, hatred against the homeless, cities and peoples taking the law into their own hands to get rid of the homeless. And Tazzy's not advocating. I understand addictions. I really do. Smoke cigarettes. Yeah, I get that's a different addiction altogether. Still harmful. No, I don't sell people out for cigarettes the way a meth head would. When it comes to human lives, I don't fuck around. Now, with this Tazzy lady, that's what she had me save her number as. I mean, really, she is technically kind of sort of scamming, but kind of not. Falls in the gray area. I got to research the law a little bit more before I can expose her phone number and put it up for God and the whole world to see. You know, I don't want to post somebody's number up as a scammer who's not scamming. Anyway, she's the one that I was told to go to try to find out who these guys were. And since they live in the same camp, well, the next camp over, she knows who they are. She's aware of who they are. She got angry at me this morning. She found out that, of course, I have a YouTube channel. I even told her I was recording while I was recording when she come up to me on more than one occasion. She's not squeaky clean. She's a meth addict. But she's also homeless. And that makes her words actually worth more than her boss's. Because Laura has actually gone through this stuff. She's still going through it. She's constantly running around like a chicken with her head cut off. But you get to see the situation with Miss Peaches when her drug supply was about to get cut off from Blaine McCrelius. Blaine McCrelius was one of the people threatening to kill me after Natalie was killed, of course. He didn't even start threatening to kill me until after they'd already caught her killer. Isn't that screwed up? Anyway, Laura, working for this center for whatever it is that she works for, she's definitely not professional. I mean, between the meth use and protecting predators and calling me a dumb motherfucker, yeah, isn't that cute? Not exactly professional. Now, are you guys going to judge her the way that you judge me? Oh, she should probably rot in Hades and roast in prison and have people shove this up their that and all the other stuff you say to me? No, that ain't my style. When I do something mean and desperate out of desperation, it's out of desperation. Not hatred, not vengeance, not revenge. I think first and foremost about the safety and protection of my loved ones. And you know what? Here's the thing with Laura. With me told to go to her to do what it is that Cal said I should do, which is continue to try to turn those guys in. Laura got a hold of me, say, oh, so you can put them on YouTube? Actually, no, Laura, it's so I can take them to court. Obviously. So that I can turn them into that guy, Cal, with Adult Protective Services and get assistance in seeing something is actually done about it. You don't go putting drugs and fucking drinks and giving them to people. It ain't okay. I've been lucky. I haven't had COVID, and being as I don't use meth, my taste buds still work, and so does my nose. I was able to tell there was something off with it on the first swig. Problem is, it was a hot day, and you guys have seen me drink on video. I chug. Thank goodness it was just a straw. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten good 4 or 5 ounces down before my brain registered there was something wrong with it. Anyway, she wants to call me a dumb motherfucker for trying to get the name of the son of a bitch who's just one camp over from her, who literally tried to kill me by putting drugs in my drink. At first, she said she wasn't sure. But then once I gave a description of Jacob, she was very hateful towards me. I'm not trying to turn in Jacob. Jacob is not the one who did this. Jacob is not the one that put the methamphetamines in a Pepsi cup with Dr. Pepper in it. The guy who did that, I still don't know his name, but I know the name of the guy that was with him. His name is Nick. Also, Logan and Shayna know Nick. So they're pretty easy to get a hold of. I have Logan and Shayna's number. I have Laura Tazzy's number. So I can turn those both into Adult Protective Services. And Adult Protective Services can contact them. Also, I have the recordings with them, so Adult Protective Services can listen to that as well. If they do an investigation and they start calling these people and they start saying something different than what they said in the recordings, then of course they'll probably have to do more investigations on that, and there might be charges brought up, which is something that definitely I'm trying to avoid in most of these cases. But you also get to see how impossible it is to try to turn somebody in when you're on the streets. You got street justice and that's it. Cops ain't your friends. I went up to that cop right after getting that friggin' Pepsi cup of meth in it. One of the sheriff's deputies right here at the marina. Well, he didn't take it fucking seriously. Instead, I had to try to wipe everything off of my audio recording device so that I could put it on my computer. Well, I had to put it on my computer so that I could take everything off of it, not wipe it. Just clear it out. If everything's on my computer, then there's more space for recording. Oh God, I hope I didn't leave it on, because today it was too hot with the sun hitting my computer in the Starbucks for it to work very well. Anyway, Laura got back a hold of me to be very angry with me and very unprofessional with me, and also tell me not to contact her again, which I'm fine with. You know, that's one of the things about having to go to so many people who are addicted to meth for help. And there's also, you remember I was telling you about nurses in America, the epidemic of nurses on meth and heroin. They're working long hours, getting that meth or those prescription pills helps them to stay awake. The heroin or the opiates helps them to go to sleep. And we've had several nurses just this month alone who were arrested because they were putting saline instead of morphine into the patient's medical drip. This is chronic patients in a lot of pain who are dying. They have to take their medications intravenously, and the nurses are stealing this stuff from them. I get treated like I'm making this stuff up. And I tell you how it is from a first-person experience in these situations, only to get called a liar, be told I'm making it up, and then these very same exact predators by name are going to prison for the things I tried to tell you they were doing. I tried. It is recorded. Now with Laura, she said she's honest. She's always honest. She's always honest. She said she don't mind being recorded and all this other stuff. Well, how's she going to advocate if she don't advocate? How's she going to advocate if she's trying to protect the predators? How's she going to advocate if she's got to go to the predators to get her fix? How's that going to work? Of course, she knows a lot more about the situations than her boss does. That'd be Karen. Hood River, just like anywhere else, is fucking dirty. And yeah, we have a lot of people out here who are on drugs, a lot of people who are predatory. I don't think that Laura's predatory. Right now, she's doing something that could be construed as predatory. And in a lot of states, well, she'd be breaking the law. I don't know if she's breaking the law here in Oregon because I'm not familiar enough with Oregon law. I have looked a lot of it up, but there's 10,000 things I gotta try to do myself. Meanwhile, I got 10,000 more things people are telling me I gotta do. Now, I agree with Cal, and I'm trying to do what he asked me to do. Laura's not going to be helpful in that, obviously. And for me, I got to try to put myself in her shoes and understand why. Well, it's not a difficult thing to understand. Her motivations are simple. And just like everybody else out here on the street, she's pretty well stuck in survival mode. She can barely take care of herself, if even that. Anyway, I gave her the description of Jacob, how he's got the tattoo of a sword on the side of his face right there, Rapier. And she knows exactly who he is. You give that description of Jacob, and everybody in Hood River is going to recognize him immediately. Yeah, he's got a tattoo of a sword on the side of his face. So, of course, with the audio recordings that I have, it takes a lot of time to get them set up so that I can put them on YouTube. I'd rather just turn it into Adult Protective Services, have them take a copy of it and listen to that shit. I got fluid in my vehicle, so it ought to be mostly alright. I've got enough antifreeze, and as long as I don't go through over half of what's in there, I should have enough antifreeze to fill it back up again if I make it to the Dalles. But I had to wait till it cooled down a bit. It's just now starting to cool down because of the cloud cover. It doesn't look like there's any precipitation coming out of it, but I don't know if you guys know much about clouds. There might be some precipitation that comes out of it very shortly. The blanket that I have on top of my car that's holding everything down is not water resistant, obviously. So I gotta go find something in the vehicle I can use as a tarp and find enough pennies and straps to tie it down and make sure that everything stays dry. And I hate it when kids scream. It always makes me want to get up and do something about it. Whenever I hear somebody scream, the first thing to go through my mind is what kind of situations did I scream in? Well, I don't scream just because I'm startled or just because somebody tickled me. So, a lot of times when I hear girls scream, especially, that's something that the ear picks up on, and then you look and you're wanting to do the mama bear thing. You best not be messing with no kids. Y'all are so screwed up. Your excuses are screwed up. Your addictions are screwed up. Your family environment is screwed up. sweating horribly. Not as bad as earlier, though. Anyway, I don't wish Miss Laura any ill will. I hope she's able to get sober. I hope that somebody does something about Jacob's girlfriend's brother. Doesn't that sound hillbilly trying to explain it? Yeah, I'm trying to find my uncle's brother's sister's dog's former owner's ex-girlfriend. No. But Jacob, he's one of the guys that's pretty easy to identify. He definitely knows the people. He literally lives in the same camp. Laura's camp is about, I don't know, 30 feet further down the trail. It's still pretty close. Trying to do what Cal from Adult Protective Services says to do. And then there's the service that one of the services he was trying to tell me to go to is the one that Karen, and I was trying to tell him about Karen too. But it's the one that Karen and Laura both work for. So, I mean, for me, I'm trying to turn in Karen, and obviously something needs to be done about the situation with Laura and her unprofessionalism. The fact that she's on, not heroin, the fact that she's on meth and addicted to it, that's not my fault. And also, there's stuff that she is able to do for her community because of her understanding of that addiction. But it also helps to set up a list of priorities and a set of priorities for her. It also gives her motive for not doing her job. And of course, you know, she might think I'm trying to turn in Jacob, but no, Jacob admits to the stuff that he does. He knows I record too. I even let him know the first time I talked to him how to tell if I am recording or not. I let all of them down there know so that if they saw me recording, they'd know that I'm recording. If there's something they don't want being heard on my YouTube channel, as long as they're paying attention to the way I'm holding my phone, they'll know if I'm recording or not. Yeah. Now with Laura, being as she had already admitted to being addicted to meth, and Jacob, of course, I got recordings with him admitting to selling that shit and being addicted to it, and also talking about how he's trying to get his family up and out. I also got a few recordings of him offering to help and not coming through. Not just Jacob, Nick is on my YouTube channel as well, so is Drew. A lot of people are on my YouTube channel. And of course, that's motivation for retaliation. They're retaliating because I told on them. Just like everyone else. You say, hey, if people are doing bad stuff to you, you need to tell on them. There's people who have to do something. You're disabled. Really? Who's going to make them? That's been the point through every single bit of this. Who is going to make them? There are no teeth to the laws. That's because there's no civilian oversight, especially when it comes to disabled and homeless males. We're the most victimized people in the country for a reason. We are the most likely per capita to be victimized of anyone in the country. And we're the ones that you're telling that we need to get to the back of the bus. Metaphorically, of course. Like the Me Too movement. Yeah, great idea, except it's only Me Too if you're female or a child. And in the case of children, it's still the same thing as it was when I was growing up. Nobody's going to listen to the boys. When Donnie Sparks was 13, he's an adult now, of course, but when he was 13 and he was having sex with one of his mom's coworkers in childcare, yeah, it took Jackie McKenzie speaking up to get something done about that. Of course, Jackie found out. If I'd have found out first, I'd have said something. Of course, Jackie was heard. I wasn't. So it's a good thing she heard first, and it's a good thing she tried to turn it in. You guys have a lot of assumptions about people who are disabled, and a lot of assumptions about how easy it is for men. It's not. You got a lot of assumptions about male victims. When a male victim speaks out, he's treated like he's a predator. Me too, me too, me too, right? Me too, unless it's a male. And then it's time to man bash. Well, that ain't equality. You think it's okay to go harm the other victims? Well, you know what? Some of the other victims are fed up. They've dealt with enough predators, and just because you're too much of a coward to go after your predators doesn't make it okay to come after us. Just because you're addicted to drugs doesn't mean that it's okay to help these predators to get away. I understand why you do it, because I do try to put myself in your shoes. Do you ever try to put yourself in mine? No. See, that's where you're all screwing up. You want to tell me to think about things that I've already thought about. I've already gone through to the conclusion of that thought, whereas you just stopped when it was about you. Fucking mosquitoes. Thank goodness I'm not far from my car, and I have some of that 40% DEET, and I'm gonna spray it on. Fucking mosquitoes, I hate those things with a passion. Anyway, the situation with Laura, I don't edit the phone number out on my telephone, take my screenshots and then send them to my email, and then next time I'm able to get my computer going, well, I'll have to try to post them up then. It'll probably take about 10 minutes or 15 minutes for each screenshot to do the little, you make the pencil thicker and you pick the color that you draw with, and then you can draw over the phone number. I actually had a couple of Facebook bans that I was on for posting up screenshots at the very beginning of what predators were doing to me. Not just in real life, also on the internet. Ooh, another Colorado person. There's a lot of people from Colorado in the state of Oregon right now. All right, enough getting off topic, right? Laura, the way that she's acting and treating me as far as trying to get the information that I need in order to turn in my predators, with her working for the organization, one of the organizations that Cal was trying to send me to. How is that supposed to work out in my favor? It's not gonna. So with Cal, him sending me to an organization that is protecting the predators, and for obvious reasons, I'm not supposed to hate addicts. You guys push that on me all the time. Oh, you can't blame addicts for that. They're trying. They're people too. I know they're people too. And while you're saying that pretty stuff, I'm out here on the streets with those addicts, helping those addicts, and also being victimized by those addicts. and being victimized because of those addicts and those addicts' decisions, those addicts' choices. It's pretty much everywhere. And it ain't just tweakers on the streets. You got tweakers in houses too. Now for these homeless folks out here, they don't understand how mild I've been. Most of the stuff that I allowed to be on YouTube that came from them is pretty PG with comparison of the other stuff that I have recorded. But it's looking like I'm gonna have to spend a whole bunch of time trying to post that stuff on YouTube too. I prefer to get it in court. If Cal can help me to get it into court, I won't have to post on YouTube anymore. And that's the point, people. I never should have had to. I never should have had to go to Facebook. I never should have had to go to YouTube. The problem is the laws that were ignored. If they hadn't been ignored, I wouldn't have had to go to YouTube. I wouldn't have had to go to Facebook. If the laws had any teeth, Natalie and her friends would have been forced to stop harassing me and threatening me and assaulting me a long time before she was ever killed. Instead of this shit continuing to this day and being broadcast to a much larger audience. I do what I must out of necessity. Whether or not you think it's necessary is arbitrary because I'm the one sitting on the evidence that needs seen. If you haven't taken a look at it, or even tried, what makes you think you have the right to pass judgment upon me? You judge me, I might judge you back. Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.